Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you across the land. Welcome to Build Exclusively with Antonio T. Smith Jr. Glad to have each and every one of you on. Always excited about this call. Today is Tuesday. All right. So we are excited to hear what is going to be talked about today so that we can go out and execute. You've been learning all things Chat GPT, all things AI, and hopefully some of you or all of you have watched the 60 Minutes that Mr. Field was talking about that came on Sunday. So glad to have y'all on again. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Let's see. If we want to go around, talk about what we've been learning, what we've been doing, because I know all the time, Miss Adonia and Carlita, they always get into it. But she ends up learning some things, She she ends up getting some things done, fooling with Carlita.
So
You got that right. She couldn't have said that better, Miss Deanna. She really couldn't have.
right.
Good morning.
Right.
Good morning. Go ahead,
So
D-Marie.
I've last week Antonio talked about when you get ideas to write them down. Well, between something that Melissa told us, Grace, and from what Antonio discussed with us, I've been working on a few different things. I have a 365 day plan. I'm working on a couple of different nonprofits. I've already spoken to a few people to get some background on what would be needed. I have a 30-day plan. I have a new book. I have an app that I didn't think I would have, on top of ideas for 9 other different apps. I'm building my website using ChatGPT. My newsletter is coming from things that I've pulled from ChatGPT. So I have definitely been utilizing ChatGPT, putting things together. So my plan is I just have a lot that I'm doing, and I'm grateful for it. I have a couple of courses that I'm going to be working on as well. So between I didn't meet my deadline, but I finally got my book to Melissa, and I used ChatGPT's help to write that book. It's a book on herbs and herbs, what they do, how they help you, how you can prepare them, how they function with different parts of the body, what herb does what for what system of the body, from the nervous system to the musculoskeletal system to the respiratory system, things like that. So I've before Chat GPT, I had nothing. I just had ideas. Chat GPT helped me outline and put things in place, like the outline. I wouldn't have had an outline, I have I did pre-production for a few different podcasts. So I have like podcasts with 100 episodes pre-produced. Now it's going through the process and using all of AI, from Descript to ChatGPT, to put those out. So I have a list of things that I'm excited about and will be working on this year, and putting out this year using ChatGPT.
Right now, go ahead, D-Marie.
Oh, I also have my business plan written too, so I'm excited about that.
Go ahead.
Congratulations.
Yes. What kind of herbs we talking about? I had to mess with you. All right. So
I mean, the ones that are illegal, I should probably do a whole book about that particular herb, because it has such a negative connotation when you talk about it. But the hemp plant has been used for multiple different things. Before they started using like the iron and everything for the chains for the anchors of ships, they were using hemp. you have hemp clothes that are made out of hemp. You have baskets. You have like the hammocks used to be made out of hemp. You have clothes. There's so many different things that the hemp plant is used for, but we take it and we use we have a negative connotation behind it, but it's actually, as you said, I've done some research. There's certain, I think they're called peptides, that when ingested, there's like certain connections that are missing, but what that particular chemical does is it comes in and it kind of seals that to help connect those to give you a different type of a healing process. Like it actually helps heal. So I probably should do a whole book about it.
Hey, nobody would be
Sounds
mad
like
at
a
us.
go.
That's it. Okay.
Can I interrupt y'all for a
Come
minute?
on, Miss Sandra.
I just I'm
Oh, there she
moving
goes.
right now, but
Yes, ma'am.
may I see your face, please? May I see your face?
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here.
Okay. What's pressing? Something's been bothering me. I saw it when something's pressing on you.
Miss Sandra, ain't nobody tell you to be all up in my. No, Miss Sandra. I have a few thoughts that my energy has been directed towards.
Okay. Well, settle it because it's calm. It's okay.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
okay. Because your light that you have already risen to to be pulled down. Does that make sense?
You cut in and out for me. What did you say, Miss Sandra?
Your light is rising. It's getting brighter. So there's something trying to press that down. So whatever that negative is something that's keeping you from moving past where you're at.
Yes, ma'am. I hear you.
Whatever you're continually thinking about, you don't have to think on it.
Yes, ma'am.
It's already taken care of. That's what God is telling me. He's
Yes,
not letting me see anything. That's why I can't tell you anything specific, but he's definitely telling me that, yeah, no, stop that. I'm just saying.
Miss Sandra came in here and reading folks and getting them together early in the morning. What is
No, because he been
She on point. She on point.
I know she is. I know she is.
And he been telling me I got this, and I'd be like, but he'd be like, I got this, and I'd be like, but he'd be like,
yeah, he said that he's been talking to you, but you're ignoring him. So yeah.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
just saying.
Miss Sandra, you better wait a minute.
Yeah, we need your light. We need your bright light back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will pay more attention, Miss Sandra. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mama love you. Mama love you.
You know, confirmation comes in twos. He been telling me, and then you telling me. So yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
let me jump in right there at that point right there. I'll be like Miss Sandra real quick. And I'm jumping because she just said that, and that's literally what my live was just 15 minutes ago about proclaiming what you want and then turning around and speaking negative against what you say you want. You just said it. You said, yeah, he's telling you, and then you be like, but. So you gotta make sure you watch what you're saying because what you're saying can cancel out what you really want. So I'm gonna leave that right there, like Miss Sandra. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Tracy. I thank y'all for being the voice of confirmation for me. Yeah, yes, yes, ma'am, Miss Sandra. Yes, ma'am, Miss Tracy. Thank you both for being obedient. I will listen and do as I have been told. Thank you.
You heard him. Okay, sir. Don't you say nothing. Wait a minute. You heard him. Okay, you heard him, D.
Yes, I heard him.
Okay, I told him not to say nothing because I got to introduce him. He be trying to steal my thunder, so I can't. You ain't blocking my blessing, all right? Listen, all the way from G-Town, Galveston, Texas. founder and CEO of Density 6, Antonio T. Smith Jr. and the ATSJR companies, as well as a plethora of other companies, okay? Millionaire maker, innovator, and billionaire maker, innovator, and creator, Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr. Am I the only one that can't hear?
Oh, I was gonna ask the same
Oh,
thing.
no, I can't.
Okay,
hear you.
okay.
We still can't hear you.
It helps when I plug up my mic.
That's it. It does. Mhm.
Yeah, it helps.
What it was, the universe said you gotta wait because Trinae's coming on. She off today.
Yeah,
So
that's what it
she had to wait.
was. That's what it
Okay.
was. Yeah, it helps when I plug up my mic. I plugged up my headphones, not my mic. You know, some things need to be plugged in. Two things. One, I stay out of the business. I'm put a pin in that. I'm gonna come back to it. Two, I want to talk today about trust the delays. I want to talk today about that.
Today is not
That's-
Thursday, sir. Okay.
That's what I want to talk about. And I'll weave in what you need to know, and I'll tell you all sorts of things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I want to talk about. Trust the delays.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop you
Okay.
because you said to remind you
Yes,
about our
please.
conversation last night to bring into the morning meeting.
Okay, bring it up right now because I barely even remember what I told you to remind me about, but I'm glad you remember what I told you to remind me about.
AI in publishing and how it definitely belongs in publishing.
Yes, good, because that is relevant to what I'm talking about today. So great, then. Great, send me a note on that, and you know how you do it in the chat or whatever. And good to see you folk who aren't normally here because you have jobs. Jobs aren't normally here. Trusted delay is what I want to talk about. Now, I stand on Deanna business. There's something wrong with Deanna. I have this silent way of making sure that I help without helping. Allow me to explain. Because until some of y'all move past, I got something to prove face, can't nobody help you.
Let me tell you something, okay? First of all, get out of my meditation this morning. Secondly, okay, I told the Lord, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just let go of everything. You got it. Whatever. You got it.
Until some of y'all move past, I got something to prove, Steve, can't nobody help you. Because you genuinely are forcing into existence, can't nobody do this but me. Especially when you turn that energy against yourself. Phil, here's the good one. I got to prove this to myself. I have to do this for me. You know what I'm talking about. This is for me. Yeah, It's about 6 of y'all on this call that have said this just recently in the last 6 days.
I used to live in that neighborhood. I owned the block.
All right, good.
I owned the whole dang on city.
Yeah. So when you're around that energy, it's where you become a good wife. I'm talking to men. I'm talking about me. See, Jerome's Bible says, wife, shh, be quiet. Don't. Grace, pull it up. 1 Peter, 3rd chapter. Don't pull it up. This is when you men need to act like a good wife. I'm not really talking to the men here, but I got a bunch of men from 18 to 27 that follow me, and they're gonna see this in a couple hours. 3rd chapter. 3rd chapter. You can keep it on the Message version.
Okay.
Antonio, the same goes for you. Be a good wife, Antonio. Be responsive to your spouse's needs, Antonio. You, Antonio, as a wife, should be indifferent. You would be captivated by your beauty if you just shut up, Antonio. I'm paraphrasing, but it's all there, Grace. It's here, Grace. What matters is not your outer appearance, Antonio, or your mansplaining. Come on, ladies.
Come on, mansplaining.
I hear the crowd now. Okay, don't worry about all that mansplaining, Antonio. Adonia can get this done herself. Uh-oh. There I go. If you come in here mansplaining to Grace, then how Grace gonna know it's her project? That's why don't nobody ask you for help. Because when they ask you for help, you wind up fixing the problem. Ain't nobody wants you to do that, Antonio. Just shut up and let me vent. Humbly point me in the right way. You can stop the screen, Grace. Y'all better learn. Anyway, it's all right. I know I can count on Adonia. Adonia, did I say something that is relevant in the I am woman, hear me roar section of the call? Let me see.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Unfortunately and fortunately, it's giving me something to say to you right now. And let me tell you, I'm reading this book and I have discovered who I really am and what my job is. It's dealing with mental waste. Let me explain. I'm getting ready to write a blog about it. Mental waste is when employees, managers, and owners come into your office and dump their mental waste on you, not so you can help them fix it, so they can vent. And they can tattletale and point fingers at other people. That's called mental waste. I have learned I am the mental waste garbage can. They come to me and they throw their mess at me. I have changed how I'm going to work now and at the end of my term of employment. The garbage can is now closed. So what you're saying, I massively relate to, and I have a whole program I'm putting together about mental dumpers and how to cure and get rid of them. So thank you.
Very welcome. Come on, y'all
All
clap for
right,
that. That's a breakthrough. That's a
Right.
breakthrough. Y'all clap for that. That's a breakthrough.
What's the name of this book?
Amen.
It's called A Book Everybody Here Need. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. A book
It is. It's
everybody
called,
here
it's
needs.
no ego, no ego.
Mm,
And
mm,
I'm telling you, I've learned so much out of it. I'm blogging about it. One of the other terms is I allow people to park their BMWs. Let me explain. They're bitching, BM. They're see, I got all excited. I forgot. So it's BMW, bitching, moaning, and whining. They come to the middle dump playground, which is Adonia. It's called HR. That's getting ready to change.
Come on, y'all clap one more time because y'all out here doing the same thing. Now, some of you going, not me. Let me tell you. You know why it's not you? Because you're the friend doing the dumping. I once told Grace, do you remember when I told you a long time ago that it kind of fits right? It fits exactly right.
It's a lot of things you told me a long
When
time
Grace
ago.
started first coming to my office, I used to leave the office door open. I got it from my pastor. I leave the office door open.
Oh, is it don't be the friend?
Tell him, Grace. Tell him.
Don't be the friend that I always got to cheer up. Don't be the friend that I always need.
No, you said it right. You said it right.
Okay.
You said it right. I said it more strongly, but you said it right. I said, and it was real calm. I said, you know what, Grace? I said, sit down. Let me talk to you. She didn't see it coming, Jerome. I said, Grace, I've known you. We've been talking now for about 6 months, 7 months, something like that. You know, you don't even like me, Grace. And I said, let me help you out. You make me prove to you how much I love you before you decide you're going to have a good time with me every day you meet me. Every day you meet me. The first thing I got to do, and it normally takes about 2.5 hours, is to prove to you how much I love you for us to get along. And then I said, Grace, don't be the friend. Always got to cheer up just to get along with. She ain't did that since that day. I know it was a battle, and I know that I've never really asked you how that made you feel, Grace. Won't you tell us now?
Yeah, we messed up that day. But you knew I needed to hear it. It was just like the whole Damascus Road at Etna, what you had shared, telling me I got an anger problem. Yeah. Yeah. That Mr. Field still can't believe I had anger problems too.
It's true. That's true. And y'all all have friends like this, or you are that friend that I have to genuinely prove to you I'm not one of them. Mhm. Just for you to be like, okay, all right, come on, let's talk now. And and I always have the same part come, you be like, okay, well, let's do it. No. You're ready to move on. You done messed me up. 5 hours, I done had to sit up here and be like, no, it's all right. And as soon as you feel better, and they doing Adonia like that every day. Every day. Every day Adonia go to work. Adonia has to prove to them how loyal she is to them, just for them to finally stop BMWing.
It's truth, because here's the thing. I'm thinking I'm supposed to fix stuff. That's not my job. My job is to help them figure out they have a problem and what are they going to do about it. I have found a different Adonia. I'm not doing this anymore. BMW, the garage is closed.
Yeah, you didn't come back from Africa the same. Not even close.
Not even close. Told you. I have not. I'm different.
I was just about to say, I think we all need to just take a trip to Africa, because Miss Adonia has not been the same since she came back. Even in her conversation, you can hear there's a peace in the tone in her voice when she talks. Or is it just me?
No.
Nope.
It's accurate.
So I'm off for a trip to Africa. Okay, I got 3 hands. Cool. All right, we're gonna work this out. I'm gonna get with Kim. We're gonna work this out.
Well, I tell you, for
Miss
sure,
Adonia,
I mean, whether it's Africa, y'all just need to leave America and realize how lucky you are to have been born in America.
That's it. Once you leave your backyard, you will, if you're the same, you ain't alive. Something is not right if you come back the same. Because I'm humbled. We're spoiled as hell, excuse my language. We are spoiled, ungrateful, expecting to sit still and have everything just come to our feet and land at our toes and everything be all right. Knock it off, because we are more blessed than you'll ever imagine. I don't care religion or not religion. We are blessed at all kinds of levels. And I know that now. I'm very humble. I'm very humble.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Janae, I think you had your hand up.
I forgot. It's early. I'm sorry.
That means you're actively listening. That means you're actively listening. It is far better for your human existence. It is far better for your money for you to forget what you were going to say than to remember it. If y'all learn how to forget what you were going to say, your conversation would be far more harmonious. Because the moment you got something to say, it's because something Jerome said triggered you. Oh, yeah. And now, what about 80% of the world do is think about that. You done checked out of everything Melissa is saying. Because you have on your brain what you want to say. That is called passive listening. There's a whole science for this. Active listening is to hang on every single word. Then you hear the nuances, and then you hear the little switches and the vocal variations, because 90% of communication is nonverbal. So if you only heard my words, you never heard me. You missed 90% of me in our communication. So if you are forgetting what you were going to say, it'll come back up. But if you're forgetting, congratulations. You're not being normal. You're being the salt of the earth. Give yourself a pat on the back.
I remember.
Yeah, there you go.
I remember. So when Adonia said, and it's okay that you spell my name wrong, I don't care. when you said that you don't want to fix anything anymore. So year before, during COVID, I took this Divine Feminine Energy course. And of course, we all have masculine and feminine energy. And women of color mostly lean in their masculine energy. And our masculine energy says we want to fix everything. So now you're maybe more so relaxed and open to access your feminine energy. That's why you don't want to fix anything anymore. And that's why everything that they were probably doing, you're now like, I don't want to be a part of this. This does not feel good to me. This is uncomfortable to me. You probably even feel a lot more creative now. That's what it was.
Okay, that was pretty deep too. Appreciate you for sure. Yeah, appreciate you for sure. I want to tell you about trusting the delays. Some of you are not okay. You have the illusion of being okay, but you're not okay, especially if you are a leader. If you lead people, you die a little bit every time you lead. I'll wait. So let that sit there. If you lead people, every time you lead, you die a little bit. Because to lead is to crucify yourself. And every time you take influence over others, you crucify yourself in order to properly get it done. Those leaders who do not crucify themselves lead with a different form of leadership, and that's why they only get positional authority. Some of y'all bosses only have positional authority. You only listen to them because of their job title, their job position. There are others of your bosses that have actual authority with you, and you listen to them way past their job title and their job position. So if you're a leader and you are leading people, you're already not well. And then if you just happen to be alive and you're supposed to have $800 more than what you got right now, you ain't doing well either. Can I describe this for you, Tracy?
Watch yourself.
You going, but I trust you, God. And if you got to keep saying, but I trust you, God, you ain't doing well. People doing well don't say, but I trust you, God. I'm not saying they shouldn't feel. Maybe if we leaned on Jerome's God and not our understanding, when we in a massive overflow, we wouldn't be in these valleys all the doggone time. Maybe, but that ain't how we act, Tracy. When we good, we don't pray. Listen, don't throw stones at me. You know how we are. You know we ungrateful. You know how we are. We go, thank you, Lord. That's it. That's it. You know how we are. No, don't play now. Don't play. So I want to talk about trusted delays. What if you have been delayed for good reason? Okay, pause that. AI time in authorship, because it fits right here. Melissa, start us off in this talk. We were talking about this. What if you, I want you to keep the energy, what if you are being delayed for a reason? Let me just say one more thing, Melissa. Tracy, the reason why you're being delayed, or one of the reasons why you're being delayed, is because the customers that are about to support you aren't ready to support you yet. They have the heart, but not the means. And in some cases, they're currently supporting somebody else, supplying their needs, but that thing is about to explode and leave them disappointed. And you can't have the desire and the resources you need until they're disappointed. And your God is working on them being disappointed so you can be their appointment.
Say that again.
E flat, man. Come on, get me out of here, man. Come on.
Say that again.
You're working, God is working on their disappointment so Tracy can be their appointment. She is appointed to them. And this how you know is I know it's going to be true, Tracy. They're gonna say, "Oh, I've been praying for you. I've been praying for something like this." How many of y'all said that when you got here? I've been praying for something just like a group of people like this.
I had several people tell me that during the call.
Okay. You had to be set up for disappointment to meet this group. Same thing happened to you, Tracy. Adonia's a little different. Same thing happened to you, though. We're gonna put a big pin. We're gonna time out. Now we're doing in street football. Time out. Ball right here. We're gonna put it right there. Come on, Melissa. Come on. Tell us about AI
this
publishing.
is perfectly what you're saying. If you would have followed me 3-4 years ago, I had 5 authors. My company was failing. I was miserable. I wasn't ready to come back. Something led me to come back to ATS. Got here. We have almost 100 authors now in a year. Over 500 books. And because we have AI now, because of the AI revolution, machine learning, and everything else, using Carlos, I have books that are being picked up by universities because I'm being told by the universities the same subject matter will take the other publisher 5 years to write. You have to be disappointed. You have to go through hell, basically, so you can be set up for success later.
Y'all heard that lady? Did y'all hear that lady? That's a grown woman talking. I don't know if y'all heard it. That's a grown woman talking. You got to be set up for disappointment. From 5 to 100 in a year. When we know this, when it happens, Napoleon Hill, Phil tell you this all the time. Napoleon Hill tells you when it happens, you'll wonder where it's been all these years, because it just keep coming. You keep coming. So Tracy, I come back to you and I tell you, don't you let folk tell you your season there is ending. That is not how it is working. Your season there is not ending. You're to bloom where you are planted. There is a new season for you beginning. But your anointing is so strong, one doesn't need to end for another to begin. Because a lot of your speaking engagements are going to come from the same colleagues. You're going to speak in colleges and universities because of the teachers are going to invite you to their classrooms, and you're going to record video and audio, and people are going to see that and say, can you come to my school too? And you don't know these people. And you're going to leverage your relationship with those teachers and that school. And then you're going to be on the field day. And in May, on that day that everybody's in the auditorium, you know what I'm talking about now. It's going to be you on stage. And then somebody on your page is going to see that and say, she need to come speak to my youth. There's going to be some big church that say, come speak to our youth. And all of a sudden, you're going to make your name to claim and fame with 3,000, 10,000, 12,000 member audiences because you switched your clients from people to colleges and universities. Come on, y'all clap that energy into Tracy life. Go ahead. Come on, let's go ahead and yes. Okay.
I receive.
That's it. Receive it. But you got to be delayed right now. Trust the delays. I got an email this morning that the server was delayed again. They fixing it now. Just long story, just blah, blah, blah. It just makes me want to roll my eyes and something like that. But Trust the delays, Grace. You gotta trust the delays. You gotta trust the delays. Trust the delays. Now I want to talk to you folk who need money, and I'm with you. I'm in the same category. Okay. I'm gonna talk to you folk who need money. Do y'all mind? Okay.
You see, you don't see the big ears? You ain't see the ears?
Okay, got you.
Okay.
Got you. Now, all of you don't need money like some of you need money. And you can thank Shelly this morning. She called me. We had a good talk. She had a praise report. And it made me think about something. So I'm specifically talking to you folk that if you don't get $800 right now, you lose everything. These are folk I'm talking to. Don't admit who you are. That's not what this is for. Don't admit who you are. But if you don't get $800, some of you is like, man, if I don't get $25, it's over. You know, I understand. I remember. Phil, you remember being so broke you couldn't even find couch money. Like you know, and then it gets real depressing when you flat broke and the tank is on empty. That hurt. That hurt. I'd rather be broke with a full tank.
It does.
I can go do something.
Listen,
you know, I can go drive to borrow money or something. I don't know. You know, and then it's not that you're prideful or don't you. It's just that you realize you done built your life to where you the one that help people. Don't nobody help you. And you don't even know it until you need help.
Amen.
Don't even know until you need help. All right. Trust in the delays. Sure you should build. You're always building your gaps. The companies that build in their gaps always greater. They become greater than the companies that do not. If you think about, so for me, and I'm sure for scholars later, or scholars now, but when we understand the written language that would come later, the line of demarcation for me for the information age is 2008. You can call 2000 the .com age or .com, whatever, that'd be .com bubble. You can say it, but the information age for me is 2008, because anything that operated under the industrial revolutionary methods bellied up in 2008, and the only ones that survived got bailed out by the government. I'll push that further. If you go look at the top companies in 2008, they are all industrial companies. Walmart, GM, etc. If you look at the top companies today, they're all tech, Google, Apple, etc. If you look at the companies in 2008, you have Tracy doing one job, kept in silence and in dark, because it's not her job to know the whole role. And Tracy's job is to be loyal to that job for 50 years. If you look at jobs today, Tracy does 100 jobs, knows the whole picture, and is expected to be loyal to that job for 100 days. Okay.
Amen.
It's very different now. But and now, you know, some people try to tell you because you know, my generation, you know, we ain't got no loyalty. That's not the truth, Jerome. The truth is they ain't paying nobody. And these companies stopped being loyal to us. And people reacted to that. And that's the truth. These companies stopped being loyal to Susan. So Susan took her own life in her own hands. That's what happened. All right, then that's what happened. So you gotta trust in the legs. I wish all of you had. They still mad LeBron left Cleveland. When they go back, they're gonna put up another banner. They at least ain't rip it down this time, like they did last time. I wish all of you create some sort of product that can get you out of trouble. The problem with that is that's not as easy as it sounds. Let me keep it real. So I've been thinking a lot about this since Shelly called. I think I got some instructions for you. While you're in the delay, I want you to think about this product, and I need you, so Grace, you can call this product and get you out of trouble, whatever you're gonna call it. I want you to focus on trading power first. That means that if Jerome has bad knees and bad hips, which Antonio does, because
I do. What you doing my business?
oh, okay, my bad. Well, I do too. I ain't got no college, you know, man. Jumping out of them airplanes, them helicopters got me. So, which means, and I discovered this. I had no idea. I discovered this, and I'm physically fit. I'm perfect picture of health. I ain't got nothing. Like, I don't take no medicine. I'm years away from medicine. Ain't nothing wrong with me. But my hips are, well, they kind of saving the cartilage now. Well, there ain't no cartilage, to where it's painful to put on my shoes. Who know what I'm talking about? Because them army injuries show up. Like, if you know, I'm disabled veteran. Like they got my arm and knees and stuff. All that's maxed out. And I started thinking to myself, I said, "Ow!" And I looked down and I went, "Now you too fine not to be able to put on these shoes with no problem." That's what I said. If y'all don't think I talk to myself like that, you crazy as hell. I talk to myself like that in front of y'all. What you think I do when there ain't no crowd? I'm worse, much worse, much worse. And I went to myself and I said, you know what I should do? I should invent something for people who can't put their shoes on without paying. Trust the delays. You missed it. This time I rewinded. I did not complain. I reacted. And then I said to myself, wait a minute. If I'm 42 like that, what happened with 62? I said to myself, huh. And then it brought me down a rabbit trail. And I said, well, there's a lot of people want to lose weight, but their knees won't let them work out. Huh. What if I can invent something for that, right? Just keep going and keep going and keep going. Sometimes you're being delayed because, no, actually, every time you're being delayed, there is something right there that you prayed for that you're missing. Time out or time in. Remember I said we're going to put that ball right there. Time in. We picking the ball back up. The car done rolled down the street. We can play football again. Some of y'all don't know nothing about that. You know, so we used to play football in the street. God dog, it's stupid. Car. And everybody stop and get back in the middle of the street. All right. Car to the left. We can get back in the street now. We loud as hell. I don't know how these neighbors, but it's daytime. They don't mind us being loud, playing on the street. At least we ain't robbing nobody. Okay. Grace got the ball now. In the delay, your prayer has showed up. Your eyes can't see it. Oh, it's starting to make some sense now. You're not being delayed. God has slowed you down so you can open and receive. But since you're so ungrateful and complain so much, when slowed down so you can catch that blessing, you run your mouth and miss it. Trust the delays.
Come on, preacher.
In your delayed time, I know what you have prayed for has showed up in your life. It did not show up in the form in which you desire. It probably showed up with a little work, Grace, but it has showed up. Similar to, maybe I should invent that. That is how you're solving this problem. If you tried it your way, it has not worked. Test me on this. If you are experiencing a delay, and I'm really talking to the folks that's going, if I don't get this, I don't know I don't know how my kids going, whatever you're doing, like however you in that area. I don't mean you got a backup. Nope, you ain't no more plan, Melissa. It's this or it's nothing. And if you don't get this done now, you will be publicly embarrassed. People are going to call you a fraud. And what you were holding together in faith will now be your greatest embarrassment. These are the people I'm talking to. Because, Jerome, your Jesus' greatest embarrassment was his greatest glory. You call it the cross. I hope y'all don't think this man went to the cross pretty. I don't know what y'all have done to y'all cross in 2023 years, but y'all have done the wrong thing. You put diamonds on it now. You glorify it. The first cross had blood on it, Jerome. Even when the first cross, his first cross. I need you to get that according to Jerome and his faith, Jesus' greatest embarrassment was his greatest glory. The fourth gospel, John, spends a whole book depicting that for you. Well, maybe it's the same for you. Maybe you feel you're most embarrassed than you've ever felt. Uh-oh. Maybe you just reached a point in your life where you said, I can't do it no more. And right there is where the work has been answered and is being done. No, it ain't, Antonio. Grace, take this from me. 3 times. I can't do that. Do it. No, I'm not going to do it. Well, that's fine. Your grace is sufficient.
Don't be telling that conversation yesterday. You got people all in my business.
So what you're telling me is, let me make sure it's still in that, Jerome. My strength is made perfect
in weakness.
So when you're at your greatest embarrassment, the force working for you is at its greatest glory, greatest power, greatest strength. Trust the delays. Phil, I'm gonna keep repeating until I get everybody. Some of them, they auto suggesting it's like, nope, not for me. Now, I'm gonna just keep on going until everybody auto suggested this.
But Mr. Smith,
talk to me.
The will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not.
That's right.
When I desire to do good,
evil, sir.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I hear what you're saying,
it's always
but I know
present.
what I'm doing, and I'm still where I'm at, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's because we're not trusting our delays. Jerome's right. Jerome, let me un-King James that for y'all. What Jerome said was, I hear you, my man. I do. But you don't understand. When I log off this call, I'm hitting everything. No, everything hitting me. Hell, at this point, these lights might be off. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I check this account, I might just lose my. You understand? You know what I'm telling you. You know the rest of that sentence. Who? You ain't got to admit it out loud, but you know if I look at my account balance,
watch yourself.
God ain't good no more. Don't act like
Mr. Smith.
Every side,
Mr. Smith, I sent you an email yesterday. Did you read it?
No, I didn't read it, but
it's real short.
I didn't read it.
It's real short.
But I told Deanna to remind me about your website yesterday, and I started working on it yesterday. So go ahead, though.
And I said, "This is good." Now, what's next?
Oh yeah, I did see that email.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure, right. Sure did. Yeah.
But the reason I'm saying that is I wanted to say more, but I didn't know what to say.
That's right. That's right. No, that's right, 100%. And that's the beauty, Jerome. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Knowing, we talked about this Thursday in a different way. Knowing the worst is over, and knowing that the finish line is coming. But you gotta wait. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. That I'm not there yet. If y'all don't know, we talked about Thursday night. We talked about being stuck between the worst thing ever happened to your life, I use different words, and your breakthrough. Because we don't mind, no, it pisses us off, but we deal with it, Melissa. We deal with it. No is we deal with it. We love yes. Yes is a good look. But that silent period, God, I've been talking. Now doggone well, I need this money. Come on now. I'm trying to keep it all the way real. I got you, Prophet Jerry. I'm gonna try to keep it all the way real. Doggone well, I need this money. Come on, man. I ain't got to pray. I've already prayed, been praying. I need this money. I need that product to release.
Mr. Smith, could you stop for a minute? I got put a little salt and pepper on this.
Put it on there, man. Put it on there.
Listen, I just need to put a little bit on this, okay? Yesterday, remember I told you last week, my first set of books came last week. I ain't said nothing because I'm waiting for the other set to come. In the meantime, I took out my credit card machine that I've been paying the fee on for the last 4 years. Ain't used the machine. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
$30.80 a month. I've been paying it for 4 years. Haven't used it because I knew one day I was going to be using it again. Guess what happened? I stuck my credit card machine, my credit card in it twice. It registered both transactions. I said, it's good. It's working. Guess what it did?
What it did?
Then it shut it down and said, you can't use this card no more. Somebody had tampered with your machine. You need a new machine. I said, what the? And then when I put the thing in for the new machine, it sent me an email saying, your warranty's over. We can't send you a new. I said, what the? I'm ready to tell people I can accept credit cards on my machine, but guess what the machine won't do? It won't accept them anymore. I got to put it in manually. Well, what the hell am I putting in manually? I don't need the damn machine. I can use Square.
You sure
Man,
can.
let me stop.
You sure can.
But I just wanted to add that to what you're talking about.
I counted
Like,
4 delays. I counted 4 delays in your story. I counted 4 of them in your story.
I said, what the? Is there a cloud over my? I just wanted to share that with you.
I appreciate that. Now, I'm
yesterday.
I'm trying to keep it real with people. I want folks to keep it real. Yeah, y'all out here being saved and spiritual and saintly. Man, life sucks sometimes. It's all right. No, it's all right. It's all right to admit that. It's what we come here for. We've come to this illusion to ascend past the suckiness of life. Without it, there's no ascension. It is perfectly okay to admit you are in a bad time. That's what we came here for. We've come here to be light in darkness. You want to be light and light. The darker the area, the brighter your light. So if you own something, then expect this universe to be on top of you. Beyonce sings this song. Get ready, Prophet J. Give me 1 minute. At the end of one of my favorite movies. It's a corny movie. It's completely corny. It's called Fighting Temptations. It's corny. I love it to death. It's just amazing. I love the movie. It's totally corny. It is classic corny. You can see everything coming. There's just no way. There's no suspense. But I love this movie. I can watch it all day. And in 2005, I have my own apartment.
I know my half is in there somewhere.
I mean, with 2005, I had no cable. I had 2 DVDs, Dave Chappelle and Fighting Temptations. And we just watched them back to back to back to back to back to back, And I had a bachelor's pad filled, but it really with no women in there. It was just a bunch of dudes, smelled like gym socks. All my homeboys came over, and then we just watched it, And I had no food, Adonia. No food. The refrigerator was full of beer. And every night, broke as hell, I managed to go out downtown to the Strand and get drunk every night. I don't know how I did it. I'm not sure how it worked, but burning desire, Phil. I had a burning desire to forget I was broke, and every night I attracted said poverty into my life to forget that I was broke. And one day, at the end, dun, 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 some of y'all know what I'm talking about. She goes, went to sleep on top of the world. Today, the world's on top of me. And I went, you got doggone right. I might play that song for you just so y'all can get it. You doggone right. I understand what that feels like. And sometimes you do go to sleep on top of the world, and then you wake up and the world is on top of you. And that's okay. Stop denying it. Quit tripping. You will be okay. Go ahead, Prophet Jerry.
Greetings, sir.
Greetings, sir.
How you doing? So
I am doing well.
So you mean to tell me, trust the process, trust the delay, right? And I got to sit here, lay in bed. My wheelchair broke.
Yep.
Been broke now for almost 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
And I'm used to getting up, where at one time y'all just saw me in the bed all the time. So now I'm trying to get somebody to fix it, but it takes doctor signing and Medicaid. Y'all know how it goes. So you mean tell me? So then I calls and I say, well, can I get a loaner? Well, we don't do loaners. What kind of company? What I told him was, what kind of shit is this? But you know,
I do understand. I do understand.
I was upset. I'm sorry, I was upset.
So I do understand.
I still have to trust the process, even though, like, I'm laying in bed and I can't go nowhere. I can't. And in the process of moving, and in the process of, so still trust the process. Okay, I hear you. Well, still trust the delay, you said, excuse me.
Trust the delay, trust the process, however you want to process it. The reason why he cannot move around is because he's not supposed to right now. And until he receives there is something in that bed, in that house, in that position, in that vibration that he is supposed to feel, know, and be instead of see, he will get back mobile. It's just the way life works. Most people suffer because they don't understand the ways of life. Trust the delay. Grace, do I like that I got stuff to do and can't do it? And finding out the last 3 weeks of all my delays have not been me. No. As a matter of fact, I got a couple of things wrong with that, Jerome, that I could highlight to you that makes some sense. Do you mind? First off, I'm aggressive. Problem number one. Problem number two, I'm a proud person. I know I should say please, but I ain't talking about my spiritual self. I'm talking about my flesh. I'm a proud man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Listen, the proud man that won't even go to the hospital, won't even take no medicine. I'm good. I ain't going to the hospital. I'm talking about the terrible patient. When I come and ask for medicine,
We're
feel
so
something
alike.
wrong. Yeah, I told you ain't nothing but another version of me. You know, I'm just proud. I'm gonna get over it. It's all right. It'll be okay. I ain't going. You know, watch out. I'm gonna pick this up. Grandpa, your arm broken. I'm gonna pick it up. You know, all that stuff. You know, just proud. This is just proud. So that's 2 strikes. This now, I'm not winning because somebody else can't handle my code. No offense to them. And I'm a proud person and aggressive. Then I'm ambitious. That's the worst of these things, Jerome, because wanting more leads to more problems. Third thing. Oh, but here's the other one, Jerome, that really just burns my little chives and browns my onions and overcooks my greens. I done told y'all for 3 weeks, this thing coming out. Do you understand how much I don't like to come back and unsaid what I said. The pride in me, Melissa, wants to choke me, but it ain't me. And I promise you, Adonia, as God is my witness, every day I've been delayed, I said, okay, well, I'm only gonna do 1%. I'm gonna write or I'm gonna code. It's the only things I want to do in my life. Well, I can't write yet because I said I was going to finish. I promised I was going to finish. Am I finished yet? No. All right. So it's back to code. And every day I've been delayed, I've invented something new that would not have been there had I not been delayed. Don't miss this. So I got the 49 and the 99. And now all those delays let me work on my own AI. See, don't miss it. Because what would have happened was I would have released it that first day, Prophet Jerry. Now I'm done. I'll come back and make these updates after I finish Kofi Sa in book 2 of Cities of Solaria. And 6 or 7 months later, I'd have came back and them updates. And God was saying, Jerome, that's not worthy of the blessing I have for you. If you keep working and build this, Grace, this is for you. If you keep working and build this, the blessing I have for you is so big that you won't even, it'll be the greatest launch of your life. So until you do what I need you to do, so I can send what you're asking for, here's a delay. And every delay, Trinace, has put this golden path of road. It was invisible. Imagine this illustration with me. The universe has sent a golden path to send the golden blessings, but it's invisible. I can only see it with my faith. But I move to motor scooting much. Who got my same problem? Oh, don't fool me now. Okay. You know,
how many times, how many things I done told you, hey, this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah. See, I'm not like Phil. Phil, my guess is Phil's, I ain't just like Phil when he was younger. Phil done learned how to just, it's okay, it's gonna work out. I'm like Susan in this regard, you know. Move, force, move, force, move. Yeah, I had to learn how not to manipulate the law of attraction. That's something I had to learn. I'm too much of a pioneer to be in flow. It makes sense. It really does make sense. You can't be a pioneer going, it's going to work out. No, a pioneer says this mountain is in the way, punch it. Punch it until it's not in the way. Punch a hole through it. I was born that way. So I've had to learn to adapt and adopt flow. So in that respect, that's more Deanna. Deanna has more feel flow. She acts more like Susan, but she has more feels flow. I act more like Susan because I'm like, okay, this both worlds. Yes. I'm like this, and that, this, and that, all that stuff. But moving past the golden bridge is my problem. It's the delays that force me to be still. And if you're honest with yourself, Adonia and Antonio, if you don't have my personality, you got the exact opposite. If you're not me, you're Adonia. So let me help you. You're Adonia and you're so much in flow, you're a pushover. Or you're Antonio and you so aggressive, you need flow. You calm yourself down. You're one or the other. Now hear me very well. The delay is going to come to you according to what you're lacking. So in Adonia's case, the delay is going to be no more BMW. See, I didn't get that message. I didn't need that message. People are afraid to even come to me and vent. Because they know, tonight I'm gonna stop you right there. They know I'm gonna say that. Let me stop you right there. I stood all I could stood. This is now a one-way conversation. Don't you bring that trash to me. People know I'm going to do that.
The delay will come to you.
It will come to you according to what you're lacking.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for me, the delay comes in. Oh, you can't be aggressive right now. Nuh-uh. Because I'm lacking. Slow down, appreciate, congratulate, etc., etc., etc. Build. This ain't like, y'all ready? You ready for this, Jerome? This ain't like last time. This is me talking. This is me. No, this is God talking to me. This ain't like last time. You've built this differently. Phil and Susan will be fine. Trust me. But do what I said. No, I get it. Just do what I, fine. You don't want to do what I said? Fine. Boom, serve it now. It didn't have to be that way. It didn't have to be that way. I didn't have to be that way. Uh-oh. And then what does Antonio do? Push past it. Second one down. If you would just stop, my child, I would stop pointing things down. Trust the delays. Trust the delays.
Here's the perfect one with
Talk to
publishing
me.
with Amazon. I have issues with Amazon. We're having delays with Amazon. We all know this. It's not my fault. I fought for 8 hours with Amazon yesterday. I still don't have the problem fixed because it's not supposed to be fixed yet.
Is what it is. Is what it is. But you're supposed to keep pushing at it, however it works in your universe, your reality. And somewhere in that is that treasure in that cave that you needed to go into, but were afraid to go into. And for Melissa and Antonio, that treasure, that cave won't be, your aggression won't work there. Adonia, if what you know well got you your breakthrough, then how are you ascending? It's not that, Jerome, it's not that you're supposed to try to be well-rounded. You're supposed to stay in your gifts. But this universe will well-round you. You can't be as lion as Antonio is, aggressive, A-type, B-type, Sigma type, all types, and think that's okay, because you won't be able to talk to Trinace. If I don't learn the opposite of what I am, Trinace can never be in her feminine energy. If I don't learn that I'm just supposed to sit there and listen to Adani, I'm a mansplain and be like everybody else. Woman, you can't do this. Let me handle it. So what's the best way out of this? Well, I don't know, Jerome. I know my best way out of it. I don't know yours. I know my best way out of it. But I can tell you as a collective, there's nothing wrong, not now or ever. And this will be just fine. Chef Jay, it's going to be fine. How many of you right now, this time I do want feedback. How many of you right now, your life is disrupted by something that is out of your control? Who? Okay. There you go. That's the delay I'm talking about. And some way in that, that's just what we're supposed to do, Jerome. Is it irritating? It shouldn't be. Is it? Of course it is. Of course it is. Okay, of course it is. Of course it's irritating. But it shouldn't be. Nothing should irritate us. It shouldn't be, Jerome. Like right here, I'll just show you this frustration.
I just got a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
I hear what you're saying. Nothing. I hear what you're saying. Nothing should be frustrating. That is so farther from the truth for me. I feel lots of frustration. So I think I'm still missing something here because lots of things are frustrating. Maybe it's our response to it or our reaction to it is what the problem is.
Right. And that's a fact. That's a fact. The answer there, Adonia, is it shouldn't be frustrating because we are supposed to keep ascending to where it's not frustrating. So I was speaking on two levels. The big you should take hold of little you to where the things in your life are just energy. It's not personal. Of course, we ain't got there yet, Jerome. You understand? All right. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, two things. E plus R equals O. Your event plus your reaction equals the outcome. I'd given a speech to the Minnesota Victims Assistance Conference. We had 600 people in the audience, mothers against drunk driving, parents of murdered children, victims of incest. By the way, they changed their name to survivors of incest. It was an amazing group to be in front of. But the lady that followed me, her message was riveting. The year was 1985. A plane took off from Greece, was on its way to Egypt, was forced to land on the island of Malta. And the hijackers, every time they put somebody at the door of the airplane, put a gun to the skull, kicked them down the stairs and put them down there. There's an American woman that they lined them up and put them in order of Americans. And she stood there. She had this sense of knowing that everything would be all right. She knew if she died, everything would be all right. She knew if she lived, everything would be all right. She just had a sense of knowing that everything would be all right. She heard the click. She felt the pressure, and down she tumbled. She opened her eyes, ready to see heaven, and all she saw was blacktop. She was pissed. But the lady before her moved, and the hijackers went down and finished her off. So Jackie said, "I better not move." She laid there for 5 hours, pretending to be dead. She had an out-of-body experience. She met up with her grandmother who had died 2 years earlier. They, in the spirit state, were traveling towards a white light. That sense of knowing became her again and says, "Jackie, it's not your time." She turned to her grandma and says, "Grandma, it's not my time, but Grandma, you go to the light." And her soul went back into her body. So her message was, number one, everything's going to be all right. And none of us are going before our time.
That's a powerful story. I'm going to have to steal that one. I need to go on one of my
Amen.
keynotes.
Amen.
Yeah, buddy. Go on one of my keynotes. Deanna, you do need to send a ticket. You need to send a ticket on Janet's behalf. There's something wrong. So you do need to send a ticket, but don't do it right now. Don't do it right now because you're already multitasking. I'm gonna need to have you multitask more. Obviously, all of you need to give. All of us need to give. Give where? But I think the emphasis here today is it's okay to slow down. It's okay to be slowed down. Excuse me. You don't have a problem slowing down, Janae. You have a problem being slowed down. That's the real thing. You have a problem being slowed down. Being slowed down, Grace, seems personal, don't it? That seems personal. Yeah. Y'all got me messed up. This ain't gonna happen to me. Not again. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Not again. I'm not doing this again. I'm not going through this again. Not again. Right?
It's very personal.
It's very personal. So Adonia's question and admitted frustration is the perfect place to be. I'm going to go so far against the grain here of your understanding, your teaching, that it's going to be very hard to understand this, but it still needs to be said. It's going to be very hard to understand what I'm about to say. I want you to stop being patient, which is I'm already against the way Deanna Grace is fixing peanut butter and jelly. Put this down in the chat. I don't want you to be patient, okay? And I don't want you to tolerate. These two things are stopping your manifestations. Being patient and tolerating. I'm completely against. Adonia, how did me just saying these two things, so I know I can trust her to keep it real, just make your brain feel? Don't be patient and stop tolerating.
It's it's confusing.
It is.
Don't be patient and then don't tolerate it.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't tolerate it, I'm not going to be patient waiting for it. It just, it's a conflict of interest for
It
me.
is. Absolutely. It should be. It should be. It's a huge conflict of interest. I knew she was going to not be saved. Like, yeah, so let's check this out. Let me break down what I'm talking about. Yeah. Trinae said say
Antonio.
more. Yes, ma'am.
That's definitely one I've had to learn.
Mhm.
And I just try to sit back and think about the whole thing and then offer it up.
Okay. Now that's a far better solution than being patient and being tolerant. Susan's right. This is what it means, Deanna. Don't Deanna, everybody else multitask. You don't multitask. Hear me well. To tolerate something is to tell the universe, I don't like where I am, and I have no control. To be patient about something is to tell the universe, I don't like what's happening. I don't like my manifestations. I don't like what's in my reality, and they're hurting me. And what do you get? More of both. More of, I don't like what's happening, and more of, I'm not in control. So I don't want you to be patient anymore. And I don't want you to be tolerant anymore, because both patience and tolerance prove one thing and one thing only, Adonia. You stop creating deliberately. So the next time you get into something that you need to tolerate, pause, get into that flow that Phil has mastered oh so well, and then create. Don't focus on what you need to tolerate. Don't focus on what you need to fix, because those are energies that you're multiplying. It's like stepping in some boo-boo, some dog boo-boo, and then you walk all throughout the carpet on your house. Every step, there's a whole spot you got to bend down and wash up with some dishwashing liquid, or however you get it out your carpet. Down here in the South, dishwashing liquid works on everything. Everything. It really does. It works on everything. When we wash dishes with Clorox,
Specifically done. Specifically done.
So just so we clear, that's what you're trying to do. So every time, and this is simple now. Now this is plain English. It's not hard to accept now. I've made my case. You know it to be true. It's only hard to accept now because your auto suggestion is programmed not to accept this part of your breakthrough. To tolerate something, I got you, Trinae. To tolerate something is to tell God, you're not in control. This thing is bigger than you, God. How about that? Did I Christianize it enough for Jerome for that one? This thing is bigger than you, Lord. It has more power than you. That's what you're doing. And
I want to say some cuss words.
That's what you do. Every time we react like that, we're saying, God, my credit card is so more powerful than you. Can you help? If it's in your will, because I know you probably can't help. Come on, Trinae.
You a mofo. You know that,
right? Go ahead.
Okay, so a couple of things. Being patient, don't be patient or tolerate in anything.
No, because they're energies. If you consider what I'm saying as a vibration, if you need to be patient with someone, you're saying, I don't like how this person is behaving in my reality, when you're in full control. And all you have to do is create how you would like that person to behave in your reality. But you can't do it creating towards them. You do equating towards yourself. You go to yourself and say, this is, but Adonia said it well earlier. I'm no more the waste management receptacle in my job. You change you create a different version of you. And that thing you're being patient about must change. But keep going.
So I don't be patient about a whole lot of stuff, to be honest. And a whole lot of stuff I don't tolerate. So, you know, that's
as long as you know we said two different things, right?
That's my personality.
I understood.
That's
it's a true Scorpio.
Yeah, that's my personality. So there are things that I try to be patient with and I try to tolerate, because biblically speaking, you're supposed to wait on the Lord. He'll renew your strength. And heaven forbid that the other people, the saints, don't feel like you humble enough. So all of this, what you're saying basically is just do me,
create,
tolerate, because that does stifle, for me, it does stifle my level of creativity. It does stifle a lot of my thought process. Trying to be who somebody else has an expectation of the Christian Trinace to be.
You know, before you were Christian, you were a being. Just so we're clear, if y'all have Christianity defining you more than your humanity, you're probably doing your Christianity wrong. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, well, I agree, because me and somebody had some words. A member of leadership at my church. I'm a member of leadership too, but I'm the type of leader that y'all be on. But we had a discussion about Christianity, and I was like, look here, all of the religions line up. They all say the same thing. But we are Christian. I've said that I'm Christian, but the only difference between Christianity and everybody else is Jesus, for real. Everybody have the same stuff. We got the same principle. So it's not no guarantee that, I'm sorry, although I'm a Christian, that Christianity is their only right way. So all of them are teaching us to be patient. All of them are teaching us to be tolerant. All of them are teaching us to be humble. But what if the translation of everything, which 9 times out of 10 is incorrect, of everything, didn't mean that? It did not mean that.
Fair. That's fair.
It did not mean that, because if my thought process is, when God created Adam, he breathed his breath into him. He has his DNA. So wouldn't it be fair to say that we are God's children, like everybody like to say? And based on Adam and Eve, they are direct descendant. They are connected to Jesus. That's how the Bible, the Christian Bible, was written. That's how that's connected. So wouldn't that stand to say that we all have the same level of power? So being tolerant, being patient, being humble. Jesus kind of wasn't like that. And
Jesus wasn't patient or tolerant either.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't kind of like that. So I said all of that to say, I'm with it. I mean, this is just me talking to process all of this through.
Okay, so I got everything you said. I'm gonna address every single thing you said, and we're gonna jump around. I'm not gonna go in a particular order. I'm gonna go in the order of power in which you had said it. Let me start with the inflammatory statement that I just made, that Jesus was not patient or tolerant, because I offended the whole audience. You have spiritualized these words, patience and tolerance. Jesus walked, Jerome, into areas and created something newer. When he was forced to be patient, he created an opportunity. Now, his manifestation is work faster than yours, because he didn't have all that karma you got.
Okay, can I say this real quick?
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
in that space, right there in that space. So you didn't offend me, because let me tell you, when Jesus stood up and he said, "How long must I suffer
That's right.
you?"
Mm-hmm.
That right there said a
Yep.
whole bunch to me. Look
Yep.
here, I'm tired of dealing with y'all. Y'all either get this or look, I need a break.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just,
Yeah,
just
that's
talk
a
to them.
great,
Just
that was a great example. That was a great example. Don't get confused. Let me give you the answer is, and then I'll address everything Trinace is saying is, you stop creating what is worthy of you. Listen, I'll prove it with a simple statement. Jerome, what if you prayed to God and God was like, oof, I don't know, man. I just got to be patient about this. Uh-oh. That no longer makes sense, do it? What if you, Shelly, what if you prayed to God? Oof. I've been tolerating it a long time. I don't know. God don't need to do either of these things.
I can do all things through Christ.
Oh, so now,
strengthen me.
Now we're getting pointed in this right
now
direction.
I'm okay now.
You see what I'm saying? See, now we get pointed in this right direction. I can create all things. So if I see something, Adonia, when you see something that forces you to be patient or forces you to be tolerant, that's where you have sinned. Let me help y'all out. I'm trying to use some of y'all language. This is not the way I talk in my own life. Sin is separation from God. You made sin a whole different other thing. Sin for you is drinking and smoking and being gay and all sorts of stuff. Sin is not acting like God. Oh, would someone want to prove that wrong? It's in the scriptures. Not behaving with this mind.
Sir.
Thank you so much. With this mind that is in him, put in you. Not behaving. The whole book of Leviticus is, I am holy, so be holy like I'm holy. The whole book. The whole book of Leviticus, listen, I am holy, so you need to be holy. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do that. Therefore, Trinace, every single time that you're forced to be tolerant, you're sinning. Because whatever the hell is going on in your life, that person is now stronger than the influence of God in your life in that situation. So when you go, I'm not going to tolerate this, what you just said was Antonio then pissed you off so much, Brenda, that Antonio in this moment is you believe in Antonio and how he pissed you off far more than you believe that God did not take you to this situation to hurt you. Bet I'm making some sense now. So every time Adonia's going to be tested
right now.
I know you don't. No, you don't. Every time Adonia get to work and they try to test her, she's a new person. They try to test her. When she feels that prick of, let me just take a deep breath. Right there in that moment, whoever made her take a deep breath is stronger than her faith. She stopped thinking about her dreams and start thinking about what they're making her feel like. Good thing about Adonia is she's going to pause. This is when you get yourself back in order. Be still and know that you are God. So every time you're forced, Trinace, to be patient, whatever you got to be patient about is stronger than your dreams, stronger than your faith, stronger than your Christianity, stronger than your God. Can you imagine being a child of God? Something happened in your life and you go, oh my God, I need to deal with this right now. Instead of, oh my God, you should deal with this right now. And that's exactly what we do 99% of our days. I've got a few favorite scriptures and a few texts. Well, first of all, before I get to that, let's talk about this. You brought up Isaiah 40:31. This wait on the Lord. This is where Phil shines when he says context and content. There's a context in which wait on the Lord was presented in all 31 of those verses. And we snatched that one word up, Jerome. They'd be like, wait, actually, not just 31 verses, the whole 40 chapters, because that's kind of a crescendo of this book. That's kind of a crescendo. It starts off with comfort, my people. This is Isaiah talking to a bunch of slaves in captivity. But you don't think about that. You just think about, ooh, it's a hotline. Content and context. Phil tells you that as much chance as he gets. This is where we need to stop cherry picking some of these scriptures, Jerome. It's taking them out the context. Yeah, we need to stop doing that. We need to stop doing it as fast as possible. There is a scripture. It's one of my it's one of my favorite ones in what you call, I'm a Torah guy. I'm not really a Bible guy. My apologies to you all. I have many of Jewish beliefs, or many of Jewish knowledge, I would say. So what you call the Old Testament is kind of like my lean on. It's something like, if I had philosophies that have been drawn from sacred texts, it would be very Jewish. I live a very Jewish life. I have a very Jewish diet, right? Because it's just something that I've gravitated to along my way. Therefore, and I have, I've very, very, anyway, the Torah is my favorite here. There is a text in the Torah inside of a book that is only meant, Phil, to tell good news. In the Torah, in the Old Testament, Jerome's, it's in a different order. The Old Testament starts with Genesis, the Torah starts with Genesis, ends with Chronicles. Chronicles is actually one book. Kings is actually one book. And so it tells the story of the Kings and then tells the story of the Chronicles. So this is important. This is very important. I need you to get that the way your Old Testament is structured programs you into thinking a different way from Jewish people. Will somebody, Deanna, if you don't mind, I want you to pull up the book of 2 Chronicles. And I want you to show me the last verse in the last book. I mean, think about this. Trinace, if you was writing a book to save your people, wouldn't your very last words be your most important? Adonia's right. All y'all are writing books. Jerome, you got a 3-book series and a 5-book series and a 12-book series. Did not you put intention when you was down to your last paragraph, you put on music and you said, okay, I got to pump this one home. And with intent, you made sure that last chapter slapped, is what the young folk will say. Okay, watch this here. Watch it. Last chapter, last verse. Last chapter, last verse of all the Chronicles, 2 Chronicles. Where you at? Okay, is there a? Okay, there you go, because that was not it. There you go. Of course, I wouldn't tell you to go somewhere I don't got memorized. All right, there you go. There you go. All right, last chapter. Last verse says what? And of his people among you may go up, and may the Lord God be with them. Stop that. This whole idea of Jews is to go up. Jerusalem is built up on a hill. Chronicles is not a book that actually happened. It is a retelling of the kings. First and Second Kings. Chronicle has no new information. It just leaves out all the bad stuff. Let me give you, Trinace, what actually happened. Chronicles starts happening when you know the story of when Nehemiah gets sad in front of the king, which he should have died, by the way. He's not supposed to be sad in front of the king at all. And he says, man, my people are suffering. So now all the people start heading back to Jerusalem. This is very important, Jerome, because it's been 75 years and they ain't never seen the land. So what do the old folk like Phil and Susan do? Start telling the story of how we've overcome. You missed it. God dog it. The whole book of Chronicles is wise folk like Adonia and Phil going, look, let me tell you how good God's been. That's all. So does it leave out David and his sins, Jerome? Of course it does. Why would you tell me a good story about how we've overcome and give me the bad stuff? It's just the good stuff. And I need you to get that these Jews on their way back to their barren land said, we will not be patient. We will not be tolerant. We will just tell the good news of our story and create from there. Which now leads me back to you. Maybe we can learn from that. Maybe, Adonia, you are an expert at how everything ain't gonna work. Maybe just create a good news story about how you get back to your job. It makes sense, because if you don't change the narrative, Grace, what happens, Deanna, is that narrative starts running your life and starts becoming your attraction. To retrain your subconscious mind, one, change your dominant story that you tell yourself and you tell others. It's the number one thing you have to do. And the story you telling yourself about how everybody get on your nerves is running your attraction. Period. It's running your attraction. Do we need money? Of course we do, Jerome. But the mere fact that we say we need money is a narrative, ain't it, Phil? It only comes from the narrative of lack. And every last one of us that have declared we need $800 are already losing, because we've already told God, the universe, or whatever, I've been patient now, Lord, and this money ain't showed up the way it was supposed to. Instead of creating the abundance to where money never not shows up. There it is. Go ahead, Trinace.
Okay, so something you said made me think about a conversation about that I had with the lady that used to work with me. So you and I text about my day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And
it
by
was
the time
it was
it had been a good weekend. Yeah, end of the day was real fucked up.
Yep, that's how you describe it. That's how I would describe it.
It was real. I didn't even get mad at the coordinator in the middle of the day trying to tell me. I just told her, look, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. And I just went on back to my window and went back to work, because I'm about to be a millionaire. I don't have no time to go back and forth with dummies.
That's a great narrative.
So when my car got towed, like I was telling Steve and Phil and everybody that was in the meeting yesterday, my car got towed. I was livid, because it was an intentional tow, because nobody else's car was towed. And by the time I got home and calmed down, and I talked to that friend, and I was telling her how angry I was, and I was saying what I was saying in that moment to that person, she was like, "Oh, girl, they just did that to you on purpose." And I was like, "Well, for me, I don't feel like I'm that important to be doing stuff to me on purpose. I don't. If they feel like that, that's their issue." That's them. That ain't me. I don't think nobody is plotting or scheming against me. That's me, because I don't feel like I'm worth all of your moments of plotting and scheming. That's because that's how I operate my life. But what you said made me think of that, how we just become the victims of stuff.
Right.
I'm not the victim of anything.
Right.
If somebody don't like me, that's their issue. That ain't mine. If somebody is plotting against me, that's their issue. That ain't mine. And I say, well, I don't feel like that. I just feel like whatever scripture you in, you reap what you sow. Karma will repay you. All of that's you. But it's gonna get me too, because my thought process was, Lord, had there been a brick, I'd have tore this motherfucker car up.
I do understand.
Straight up.
That's why the Lord ain't provide a brick.
He know me. He know me. When that guy stepped in my face, and I was like, I balled up my fist. I say, if he take one step closer, I warned him. I say, I'm gonna knock your fucking head off.
That's why he did not take one step closer.
And he backed off. But see, I'm gonna have to pay for that.
You are.
Now I'm gonna have to pay for that.
I'm glad you understand. Those are all seeds planted, and no matter how much you are loved and forgiven, that harvest is coming out the ground.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Hey, look here. Hey, look, I want you to keep going, but everybody listen to you is like, oh my God, I would never. They do it all the time, Trinace.
Well, see, I'm not ashamed of what I do. I know me.
Yeah,
I know when I went back in that office, everybody was in that office heard a lion roar that they'd never heard out of me before. Yeah. Because what they hear is soft speaking Trinace.
Well,
that's who they know. But when I went off at the level that I went off,
you only went off at the level you went off because they caught you empty. So y'all got to be careful. What Trinace is, what Trinace is doing, and I don't care about none of y'all language. What Trinace is doing is not being practiced. So to a bunch of practiced people, you're scaring them, because when you live a practice life, you have all these practice behaviors that it's not truly you. It's not truly you. So you'll hear Jerome say something, oh, I would never. You do that every day. Every day. Every last one of you cuss. You can pretend you don't. You cuss in your head.
You know I no, I wasn't in my head. Last week I sent them to hell. Last week I told them they was gonna burn in hell for taking my stuff off my desk.
Okay. Every last one of you are wicked. And the moment you get that accounted for, you can control it. But I need to stress that her knowing that she gonna pay for that is quite mature. Because she's going to pay for far less than what y'all are going to pay for, because you have not admitted. So at least she went to her pay for limit. She went, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna pay for this. It's all right. Y'all ain't got no limit. And you wonder why the last 9 of your years have been a cutback season. Cutback seasons ain't got to be that long. Some of you have not had a good 2000s. You can say what you want. It's been 23 years and you have not got to your former glory in the 90s. Practice behaviors are fraudulent. You may have that practice, Antonio may have that practice behavior field, and I'm showing you, ooh, look what I'm planting field. That's what you see. That dominant thought is being planted. I can hold this little thing in my hand all I want to. Look at me, y'all. Look at me, look at me, look at me. No, what went in the ground, Adonia, was the real me. That went in the ground. So if you think, oh, it ain't that much, I would never act like Trinace. Check your harvest. Everybody hates when I say that. It comes up. Well, see, check your harvest.
I know me when I get bear. I know me. The difference between me getting there yesterday and me getting there in the past is I called my friend and said, hey, my car been towed. She said, you need me to come get you? I say, yes. And she came on and got me. And we left in the car. And I told her what happened. I said, well, I'm all right now. I'm all right now. Well, normally when I get calm like that, I'm already thinking on how I'm gonna get even with you. Because that's how I can operate. And I know that about me. And I try to keep her in a box that she can't escape. Because she is horrible. Horrible. People see me as nice, but if she get out that box, you got a problem because it's hard to get her back. And I know that. I know that. But I understood yesterday when I got home and I walked the little dog. King, you know, your mama gonna be paying for some stuff. She don't have her car to take you for a ride today, but your mama gonna have to pay for some stuff. You just looking and walking, but yeah.
That's what it is. That's so mature of you to know that. And I have to stress this. You knowing that you are paying for what you've done will get you out there faster. So the only way to get her into a good harvest now, Jerome, is for her to plant good seeds. The problem is them joints ain't coming because you don't reap what you sow in the same season. So what she gonna do now, she got plant good seeds. She gonna still walk through her trash. What's her trash? Them hidden thoughts that y'all act like y'all don't have. Them secret problems you have with your leaders that you act like you don't have. That hidden disappointment that you ain't really hiding too well with your facial expressions that you don't think.
So
all of that.
I had a similar conversation with my son Sunday morning. My oldest son, he very rarely called, but he FaceTimed me, so I had to leave outside the church building because I know what type of conversation it was about to be. His kid's mother, she no longer has baby mama tendencies. She is now officially red stamped as baby mama. And he say, Mommy, I just hate her. And he went on cussing. He said, oh, Mommy, I am so sorry. I say, I understand, son. He say, Jesus, keep me near the cross because I am a sinner and I will sin again. And I was like, this boy don't even go to church no more. But look at him having an understanding of what is going on.
If I can get y'all to see all them internal thoughts, negative talks, that's your harvest. That's what you're planting. That's causing your delay. So just enjoy the delay. Know that you built this, Shelly. You built this. If y'all got financial problems, you got there because you did not plant seeds anymore. You're getting the law of compensation. You're getting your value on this planet. But you don't want to say that. You don't want to say that because you're going, what you're doing is you're going, but look what I do over here. Look what I do for Antonio. That's what Deanna would say. Look what I do over here. Look what I do for Deanna. Okay. What about the rest of your life? I don't fool with my mama. Okay. Fine. Your wish is my command. Now you understand what my brother did. Okay.
Or my sister.
Or my sister. I just don't like the way Phil operate in class. Okay. Get some of that. All them little secret thoughts that you running around here with. And then let me tell you how you know you got these little secret thoughts that's planting bad seeds. I want all of you to start monitoring your judgment levels. Just look at how many times you judge something in a day. Those are seeds being planted because you think the only way we judge is we think we are better than people. I would never say that. Let me tell you something. When you say something like, I would never do that, that's what you're saying. You're saying I'm just better than Tony. I would never do that. At least with me, you get what you see, and you see what you get. I ain't changing. I'm not changing. I'm act like this broke. I have. I'm act like this rich. I have. I'm not changing. I'm not changing. Let me make this clear. I'm gonna put this server up. Me, Phil, Susan, we're gonna get paid a lot. They getting paid first. I'm getting paid first. I don't apologize for this. Hell, we waited long enough. Now here's the deal. Anybody got a problem with that? Don't know Antonio. Because I keep my hands open. This is who I am. At least you ain't had to hear about it in some email. So when I come tell you I buy this, no, I mean, it's time for you to pay now. Because I do a lot of stuff for free for you. You're going to pay now. And don't sit up here and think that I'm hiding behind your back. I said it to your face. Because I'm not changing. I don't have to worry about karma. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, when you think about how tough the judgment business is, in our judicial system, for you to be judged guilty of anything, you've got to get 12 people based on evidence presented to them in a court of law that beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty. I mean, think about that. You got to present enough evidence in a way that's been packaged in a way and communicated in a way that you can do every one of those 12, because if one of those 12 isn't convinced, they're done. You're not, so I mean, that's how much challenge when you judge anybody. And I say, get out of the judgment business. I'm not smart enough. I'm not wise enough. I'm not experienced enough to judge anything on anything. Now, I'll give you my opinion, but I'll never judge you. The Indian says, walk a moon in their moccasin. A moon is 28 days.
28.
Some of us don't take 28 seconds to put ourselves in other people's shoes until we judge. Get out of the judgment business. But I think that's amazing that our court system was set up in a way that you got to get 12 people to agree beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty to make you be guilty. I mean, that's a burden of proof the prosecutors have to prove.
It sure is. It sure is. That's so good. I'm going to leave that right there. Y'all walk away knowing that's what it is. Walk away knowing that's what it is.
Okay, so come back to Shelley and make it clear so Shelley can leave with a message.
Gotcha.
And then Shelley got to go and pay her water bill because my darn water is off.
So right there, you just did it. You just did it.
Did it
right there.
I'm kind of upset about that right now.
You just did it right there. She is being patient about that. She's being tolerant about that. She got to pay her water bill.
Yes.
I assume by what you said, you have the ability to pay what's getting on your nerves.
I'll make a way.
Okay, so I assume you have now kind of ability, or you're going to make a way and get it done. She did it right there. So your message is you're tolerating and you're being patient about this. Allow me to help. You need to create a new narrative about money right now because you just did it. What is she emotional about? Being pissed off that she got to spend money and being pissed off that it's running out and being pissed off she got to pay bills. This is a whole trinity of more reasons not to have money no more. So she's going to stay in this repetitious, vicious cycle of not having or making money. Why? Because emotion is nature's fertilizer for manifestation. And she has fertilized all those negative thoughts. Now, here's this. You go, I just said it once. Are you still in that vibration? Yes. And however long she feels that way is a seed per second. So before she winds up feeling better, she's going to end up planting 1 million non-financial, keep me in poverty seeds. And the only way she's going to feel better is when God show up and work something out. But it's too late by then. Blessed are those who have believed and not yet have seen. So if you need to wait until God show up in your life, or don't you, before something, if you need to wait until a good thing happened, Deanna, before something, if you need to wait for somebody to buy your book before you think it's a bestseller when you wrote it, it's never going to happen.
Watch
because that good blessing that showed up is now going to be drowned in harvest season by those millions of negative seeds you done planted. You could have got blessed. There's your message. There's your message. So right now, pause. It's over ahead. Calm down. Change a new narrative. Your new narrative should be, I'll even give you the words, but know that when I give you these words, the universe is going to test you. It's going to be much harder. So let me help you. What's getting ready to happen to you is, as soon as we hang up, something terrible is going to happen, and you're going to be tested to see if you got this lesson, because I'm now giving you the lesson, and the universe is going to test you. I'm telling you straight up. When you get hit, I want you to text me, and we're going to talk about it in the morning about how you failed or did not fail. It's going to happen. This is why you don't give people the answer, but I'm going to give you the answer. I get to pay this water bill, and money is not running out. I am so excited. A pay raise is on the way, and one of these businesses I'm doing is working out.
You full of shit.
I know. I know. That's why we the salt of the earth, because everybody can't handle this. Everybody can't handle this. I gave her the answer. The answer is she gets to say, thank you. This bill shows that I am more powerful than my bills. The moment she pay that bill, she's going to be shown that she's more powerful than that bill. I am so glad, so happy and grateful, to borrow from Bob Proctor. I am so happy and grateful that I am more powerful than the bills against me. And I will continue to be. Right there. That's your new narrative. Unfortunately, since I gave you that answer, thou shalt be tested now. So what's going to happen is, this is a fact of life. What's going to happen, and it's going to happen immediate too. What's going to happen is you will now be tested. You're going to get a text message, a phone call, that Jerome's devil that's waiting for an opportune time. You're going to sneak up on you. Sneak up on you. And if you really got what I just said, it's going to be forced out of you naturally, or the same you is going to be forced out of you naturally. Don't feel bad if you fail. Just know that's where I'm at. It's just an accountability system. It's why we show up every Monday to Phil and Susan to see our wins and our losses, our wins and our challenges. We look at how we not improving this week, right? We look at that every Monday. That's your answer. Okay. Not over your head. I got 2 minutes left. We all got to go, and I got a meeting at 10. Listen.
And thank you.
Thank you for your transparency, and all of you who have, because you've helped. People are hiding behind you. Yes, sir. No, please.
Also, she's going to go to their standout assessment that she did, right, to see where she needs to be to stand out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Forgot all about that.
Make her feel good about her.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
MarcusBuckingham.com.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, sir, Mr. Field.
Forgot all about that. I forgot all about that. Yep. She's right. I mean, he's right. Sorry, I changed her gender. But he's right. I forgot all about that. For sure. I need y'all to get my last words when I need to pull up this, because I forget I changed phones down, so I need to get this lady's number. Okay, got it. I need you all to receive this one thing. I actually pulled it up earlier. There's a scripture in the Bible that goes, Lord, we don't know what to do. Finish it for me, Grace.
But our eyes are on you.
And it's in Chronicles, telling that good story. You need to know in your heart of hearts, there's no way you're going to win. Hide no secret thoughts. Because there's a great master that come through this planet saying, oh, you think just because you ain't said it out loud like Trinace, that you're going to be blessed. Oh, no. The mere fact you thought it tells you losing it. Don't be so practiced that you miss your breakthrough. Deanna's right. Thoughts plus emotions are your creations. You feel, and your life is a collective bargaining of your feelings. So if you have money problems, you feel a certain way about money. You may love God, but when it comes to money, you do not. You don't trust God. And you don't like God that much. So stop it. Yes, we need money. But the mere fact that we need it tells us we're on the road to poverty and not prosperity. Get to the point where you don't need money. Because that point, your language changes. You start saying, I'm blessed. Money is never running out. I'll check this balance without changing my mood. That's road to prosperity. This will work. You will be blessed. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can't plant better. You can't dominate. Love you, everybody.
Love you more.
Love you more.
Love you more.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.